Guys, like, the camera is not doing justice because it is absolutely beautiful. So here we are starting our journey towards Yosemite National Park. You'll hear me say this over and over in the video, but the views were just absolutely gorgeous. We're actually driving through a valley here, and on the way to Yosemite, there's a ton of fruit stands that you can pull over where the prices were really affordable and cheap. But just getting into why California is so special, especially to us, it's pretty unique in California because you can see many different terrains and weather patterns. You can go to the Bay Area in San Francisco where it's always cool and it's by the bay, it's by the water, it's very refreshing. There's desert if you would like to go to the desert. There's just warmer climates, no desert. Then there's mountainous areas. It's just really unique in that way. Yeah, the water.
Look at that.
Look at the water, guys. This is, like I said, yeah, it's a lake. Gorgeous.
There's like cars down there. Like racing or something.
So we pulled over a little bit just so we could get a good shot of this. But this, guys, is currently what we're seeing as we're driving. And it's just really, really breathtaking. Alright, we are at 2,000 feet elevation. We're about 42 minutes away from Yosemite, so getting really close. Honestly, the drive wasn't bad. It was pretty smooth. We left early, so I think that definitely has something to do with it. It's a Sunday, also. But I feel like this area is not that populated.
No.
Anyways, so yeah, we're almost there. So once we get there, we'll definitely show you guys what it's all about and try to do as much as we can. This is cool. We're driving through like a, I don't know what you would call this, but it was cool. And just to give you like a time that I think it takes about 4 hours.
3.5 to 4.
Yeah, 3.5 hours. So we got up around like 4:30, but we didn't leave until like 6.
Yeah, and we got breakfast.
And we stopped, you know, made like a few pit stops along the way. So yeah, it's about 3.5 hours from San Francisco to Yosemite. And we're at 3,000 feet elevation now. You can kind of see, oh wow. You can kind of see, definitely tell that we're higher. This is kind of like a different scenery. It's like we're in the forest.
Straight up Muir's Woods.
Yeah.
These look like scenes out of like Steven Spielberg movies or like Ewok Village. Like,
yeah.
It's so
different, and that's what I think we're really enjoying it. Why we're really enjoying it, because it's just so different from what we're used to in Florida. Everything in Florida, you know, for our fellow Floridians, you know, it's just flat. And beaches.
Yeah.
And maybe some hills.
No.
But this is completely different. I'm not sure what kind of trees these are, but I know
they're
for a fact.
Of redwood, I think. I just know what kind of redwood.
I think so. Definitely don't have these in Florida. So enjoy. So this is definitely not for those afraid of heights. There are some parts where you're like looking down and you're just like, whoa. But still pretty. There's a lot of like, you can see a lot of dead trees. I think that's from the fires.
Yeah, the forest fires.
And just the heat that's here.
It's
you know?
super dry.
It's really dry. There's a ton of dead trees.
Hey everybody.
Hey guys.
So, sorry about the late intro, but we finally made it to where we're going. We're going to Mariposa Grove. It's the Mariposa Grove of giant sequoia. So this is a giant sequoia trail. And so we parked downstairs. We got into Yosemite. We parked our car, and you had to take a shuttle. There's no parking spots at the grove itself, so you have to park and you got to take a shuttle.
But it's pretty easy. It's like every 20 minutes, and there's like a shady spot to sit underneath, so it's not like a terrible experience.
No,
really
and the shuttle's every 20 minutes, so I know it was pretty quick. So yeah, it wasn't too bad, and I think the drive up was maybe like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
5-minute drive up. But yeah, let's go to check out the giant trees, these historic trees. It's gonna be really cool.
I'm excited.
Come along. One thing I just read, it's kind of cool. The water fountains in the Welcome Center, it actually comes from the same water that actually feeds the trees. So that's kind of cool. So you can drink the same water that feeds the trees. So they have a little lavender field before you get in, and you know these are wild lavender. These grow naturally in here. Look, there's a bee. I don't know if the camera's picking him up. Where is he? Where's the little bee? There he is. You see him pollinating right there? Yeah, doing his job. But yeah, it's got some wild lavender here. Alright, so this is the entryway to the trail. Sorry if the lighting's kind of off. It's going to be thrown off by the shade and the sun. But you can kind of see these trees are huge. They're different from the ones we saw at Muir's Woods. They're still redwoods. Muir's Woods is redwoods. These are also redwoods, but they're redwood sequoias. And so they're a little wider, and I don't know if they're as tall, but they're really big. If you can kind of, you see they just keep going up. But yeah, we're gonna make our way through the trail. I think the first thing we're gonna do is try to find Big Grizzly. And then after Big Grizzly, we're gonna go look at the tunnel tree. So the tunnel tree is kind of cool. It's like a tree you kind of walk through. So, but yeah, come along with us. So first thing you'll notice, also the trail, it's kind of like this loose dirt. It's not like a boardwalk, kind of like how Muir's Woods was. So just a heads up. And I didn't see any wheelchairs, so I don't know if there's any wheelchairs that you can grab. Like Muir's Woods had the wheelchairs for my mom. But yeah, just keep that in mind. This is more of like a loose dirt trail than a boardwalk.
Oh, there's boardwalk coming up.
Oh, never mind. It actually starts here at the boardwalk. These trees are so cool.
I can't even like describe. The camera doesn't do it justice.
No. So one thing is the Big Grizzly is a 300,000-year-old tree. It's the oldest sequoia. Sorry, there we go. That's better lighting. Yeah, so like I was saying, Big Grizzly, it's the oldest sequoia in this park, and I'm not sure if it's the oldest sequoia we know, but it's 3,000 years old, I believe that's what the guide said. So it's a 3,000-year-old tree, so that would put us pre-BC, because we're in 2024. So like, that's how old it is, so that's crazy. But yeah, let's keep walking. Like so earlier I was saying the water fountains actually use the same water that feeds the redwoods. And according to this plaque, they can consume hundreds of gallons of water per day. Like, imagine that, hundreds of gallons per day. That's crazy. And all these trees, every single one of these is taking up 100,000 gallons, but yet none of them are starving.
And I know there's like something about the waterfalls drying up at certain times of the year. And so that's where they get most of their water from, is from the snow melting.
Yep.
So it makes sense. Once all the snow has melted and dried up,
yeah,
there's no
so
water. So
the snow melts, and then it flows along the surface on the ground and to the wetlands and filters into the soil. And so like they say the boardwalk is to enable the water flow to be more freely, to flow freely. But yeah, some cool trivia about these giants. Man, like Fast said, the videos are not doing it justice. You gotta be here to like really appreciate it.
I'm hoping there's some that we can actually like go and touch and like see like how wide they are.
So I don't know if you can see it, but you can hear it. This is like a creek going through the grove. And we're here like in July, so it's later in the season, so the snow's kind of already melted. You see still some water going down, but later in the season it'll dry up more. So like earlier in the season, this creek was probably flowing a little bit higher, but since we're later in the season, this is kind of what it looks like in July. I'm not sure if the camera's having a hard time with like the shade, but
it is really bright. So that could be why.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool because today is one of the high peak days, but we found parking pretty easily.
Yeah. So we coming up on a tree that's fallen. Kind of cool. Right there. So one of the things that are destroying the trees is the wildfires that occur. And some are natural. I mean, some natural wildfires occur, but a lot of it's man-made from people doing, you know, just stupid things and causing forest fires. And I mean, this is just, you know, all wood. So this is all fuel for a fire. So when you're out camping, make sure you put your fires out. Don't start a fire if you don't need one. And like, make sure you have like your bucket. And make sure when you put a fire on the ground to like have a firewall around it so it can't spread. But imagine the sound this tree made when it fell over. It's like the old idiom, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it still make a sound? I don't know, you tell me. Sorry, I keep calling it Big Grizzly, but the name of the tree is actually Grizzly Giant. And as you can see, it's a 0.6 mile walk from this point. So, you know what? We'll see you when we get to Grizzly Giant.
So guys, I would highly recommend doing this not in the middle of summer. There's breeze and like it's pretty out and you can see a lot, like it's like nice and bright, but it is warm, especially today. So if you're gonna do it in the summer like we're doing, make sure you have water. And there's lots of little spots you can take breaks. You just stop and stand on the side. We're actually right now sitting on a stump. There's like a giant stump that you can sit on and take a break. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. Just because like there's a lot of hills to walk up.
It's a steep incline.
Yeah, it's a steep incline like Dan said. And it's warm. So, and we're at a high altitude, so just take a little toll on your breathing. Especially like us, we've not really experienced with hiking and that kind of stuff. So if you do come in the summer, just make sure you have water to hydrate and you take breaks because you don't want anything happening like out here. So just a little tip.
Bachelor and the 3 Graces. We hiked up a pretty steep cliff so far. We're 0.3 miles away from Grizzly Giant, and so one of the first like checkpoints and like picture spot is actually Bachelor and the 3 Graces. And so you got one tree just kind of like sitting on his own. I guess he's the Bachelor, and then you got the 3 trees in the back. Those are his Graces. But yeah, by the time you get up here, it's a steep walk. Like, no joke. It might be better if it's a little cooler, but if you haven't gone up a hill in a while, this will test you for sure. But yeah, so we got to the Bachelor and the 3 Graces, and 0.3 miles is up to Giant Grizzly. Alright, so Grizzly Giant, 0.3 miles. And so I'll kind of show you what we have to do for 0.3 miles. Hopefully it's not all this, but you can kind of see, go down here, and then there's a trail up here, and then we kind of lose sight of it over here. So we're gonna see how far we go. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little tired, so, but 0.3 miles, we're almost there, so I don't want to turn around. But you gotta remember, the journey back. So, you know, we're going this way, we're gonna have a journey back.
Yeah, stay tuned to see if we actually finish. Because I'm really tempted to quit, but I'm also like, we're almost there.
Yeah.
Test of endurance for sure.
It's like Shia LaBeouf said, just do it.
I wonder if we...
But one cool thing is they do have like places to kind of like rest along the route. And so we found a bench and you can kind of take a break if you needed, a breather. There was another checkpoint down that way where you were able to kind of sit for a little bit. It wasn't really a bench, it was more like a tree stump. But yeah, so there's like ways to like rest while you're walking up. Alright guys, so this is a tree root of a fallen sequoia. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. So update on the two trees, tunnel tree and big grizzly, or grizzly giant, sorry. I keep calling it big grizzly, I don't know why. Grizzly giant. We did make it. It's really hot, really dry, and it's a lot of incline slope, like all the way up to it. We got halfway there, like you saw. We had 0.3 more miles to go.
Yeah, it was a little bit more than halfway. We don't have 0.3 more to go.
Yeah. But like as soon as you're going up, like it's a steeper incline. It's flatter, but it's a steeper incline.
And I like forgot my water bottle in the car, so we only have like Dan's, and we're just like, you know what, we're just gonna be safer.
Yep.
And just turn around.
Yeah, and we got a few things planned in the next few days, which is a little more intensive as well.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to like burn out on here. If it was a little cooler, it probably wouldn't be so bad. Like it really wouldn't be so bad if it was cooler.
Yeah, I definitely think the heat is the reason.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult today.
But and the other thing is the first half of the trail seems to be a lot rockier.
Yeah.
And a little more like less stable. So like by the time you got to the halfway point, you're already kind of burnt out, and then like after that, then it's the other half of it was a little smoother, but yeah. So like just keep that in mind. It's definitely a workout, and if you're not used to it, and if you're not used to the elevation
and hiking,
like
we're
not. I mean, obviously we're not very like inclined and hiking and stuff. So, but we're gonna head back. We're gonna get on the shuttle. You gotta take the shuttle back to the parking lot, and then we'll take it from there.
Alright guys, so we are like about 1 mile away from tunnel view, and we're driving in a tunnel, and it's literally carved under the mountain. It's pretty awesome. Pretty cool. And I tell you to like slow down when you're coming up to the entrance because there's like a crosswalk. But yeah, almost there.
Alright guys, so we just made it to Tunnel View. So it took us about an hour from Mariposa Grove to like get here, down Wawona Way, I think, highway or something. But this view is gorgeous. Once again, like camera doesn't do it justice, like this is crazy. And you kind of see like the different layers in this rock. You see Half Dome up over there. Right there is Half Dome. And then you got a waterfall. That's just amazing. I'm gonna put the camera away and take it in.
Coming up on Bridal Falls. Oh, barely missed it there. We're really close though. There's like a faraway shot from the falls.
Like, once again, like camera's not doing it justice.
No.
I doubt it's doing justice. Like this is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty breathtaking, and sorry if we sound a little tired. It's just really hot.
It's really hot, and we've had a long couple days.
Yeah, I mean it's totally worth it to come here though.
Yeah.
It's just in the hundreds, so it's really hot. It's like middle of the day.
Yep.
But definitely worth it. Definitely happy we made the trek.
All right, so we made it to the trail that leads you to Bridal Veil Falls. It's right there. Right there. And there's a trail that you can take that'll take you closer to it. They have another trail there. But like, I don't think we're gonna walk there because we're running out of time. It's getting close to 2 o'clock and we gotta still make it to LA. We're going to LA. It's gonna be like a 6-hour drive, so we're getting close to where we gotta start heading out. But I want to get the shot of Bridal Veil Falls.
Alright guys, so we are like an hour and a half to our next destination in Anaheim, which is also close to LA, and just wanted to show you guys the view. It's really pretty. We're driving through, looks like a few mountains or mountain ranges.
Yeah, the Southern Sierras.
Yeah, Southern Sierras, and it's really pretty, so I thought I would show you guys. And traffic is moving now. We had a little like hold up earlier, slow down, yeah, but it's moving. The views are just, I don't know, can't get over these views. Again, the camera doesn't do it complete justice, but it's just, like I said, can't get over the views. Right, Dan?
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
On the way there from San Francisco to Yosemite, for some of our viewers might be excited.
Yes.
Like, there was a bunch of farms on the side.
Yes.
That were selling like different kind of produce. There was like apricots. I think we saw pistachio, garlic, and then
avocados.
Avocados apparently very cheap and
it was like 15 for $1.
Yeah. So if you're driving, just keep an eye out, and if you're with a family member that's interested in fruits, like, I mean, if we had Fazila's dad, I'm sure we would have stopped and got something. But like, we were also kind of early. It was like 6 a.m. I don't know if they were open. But yeah, so like as you're driving, just keep that in mind, and if you want to pit stop and grab some fruit, there's a bunch of farms. Like, it's all farmland until you get to the road that takes you up to Yosemite.
Yeah, I was super excited about it, but it was so early. So I'm hoping like on the way back, maybe we can see if there's more fruit stands going in that direction. We also saw wild strawberry plants.
Yeah.
At Yosemite,
cool.
which is really cool.
They were like little baby strawberries just on the path, and that's crazy.
Yeah, like, and lavender, which was very pretty.
Yeah, I think it was pretty cool. I don't know, like Fast mentioned it. Like, I've been driving the whole time, and tunnel view was worth it.
So worth it, guys.
Like that viewpoint. I mean, like, this is our first time doing anything really like hiking wise. Like you know, I've heard people go to Banff. Banff is supposed to be great. Glacier National Park. You know, we did Muir's Woods, but I don't think Muir's Woods a little more touristy.
Yeah.
I think it's more developed as a recreation for tourists, whereas Yosemite is for, like, you know, people who are really nature enthusiasts who are going to go hiking and whatnot.
Which we are not. I mean, we're slowly getting into it, but we're nowhere near, like, you know, a seasoned hiker or whatever.
I'm trying to remember where I was going. Oh yeah, tunnel view. That view was just worth it, and I couldn't imagine what it would look like in winter. Like,
I
don't know if the waterfalls freeze up. I don't think they do, just because like the nature of the fall, but I mean, if
I think they do, because it ends up melting, and that later on, and that's where you get like the actual waterfall from, or like the streams and creeks and things.
Yeah. So it was cool, and then we, like I said, we only scratched the surface. There's like El Capitan, there's the dome. Years ago, I came with my dad, and we actually drove from LA to Yosemite to San. So we did the opposite, and we didn't know what we were doing, so we ended up stopping at the top of El Capitan, I think, and coming out. And so that's kind of where we were last time I came. I'll see if I can find a picture. I'm not sure if it's the best picture, because this was like pre-phone cameras. This was like very raw footage, but like I can show you like where me and my dad were kind of positioned at.
But I have one last tip. Just going back onto the fact that there's no Wi-Fi anywhere when you're walking, I would research some of the like landmarks or the popular trails that you're gonna come across. And if you're a beginner hiker like we were, I would research like the distance, you know, and just how far they are from each other, and like just the total amount of miles you're gonna be walking, because it kind of surprised us. And then because we didn't have Wi-Fi, we were like, oh, where is this thing? When is this thing gonna come off? And they don't have signs like to say, oh, like they don't have enough signs, put it that way, to where
I think the first sign we saw for tunnel view said it was a mile away.
Yeah.
And that was like I think it was like 20-30 miles into the road.
Yeah.
Like, so thanks, but at this point I'm just hoping the ranger didn't lie to me. And yeah.
But even on the walking trails, like if I were you, I would research how far it is to each landmark, because that kind of caused some of the frustration with us too. And then we ended up like, I don't know how far this is. Did we mention that the's a lot of places to stop and sit?
Yeah,
there's a lot of places to take breaks.
Yeah, there's a lot of benches. But like I said, like compared to Muir's Woods, the benches are there. But to get to the benches is a workout.
Yeah.
And then it was hot. So like even if you sat, you were still in the sun, you were still baking, and it was more just a rest for your legs, but you were still uncomfortable.
Yeah. But guys, we don't want to sound like it was terrible, because it was not. It was pretty magical. And definitely do it.
I think like we said, it was the heat.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're from Florida, so we're accustomed to heat. But you know, Florida is a wet heat. It's like a swampy heat, and then here it's like dry, like super dry. And I mean, 104 super dry heat, like you're gonna pass out if you don't have water and you don't have the right precautions.
Yeah, so we're just trying to give you guys precautions, and you pick whatever time of year you would like to do it, but we're just giving you a warning.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll let you guys know when we get there. We are about an hour away.
Hey everybody.
Good
All right,
morning.
so yeah, last night we got in from Yosemite. We got into the hotel around 9:30. We got at 8:30. 8:30 is when we got in. But after driving all day and the heat at Yosemite, we were too tired. So we
showered, we ate, and we crashed.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what we did.
So this is the day after Yosemite. We're in Anaheim, and you'll see where we're going on the next vlog. But if our shirts are any indication on where we're going, I would hope you can guess where we're going today. But yeah, so we're gonna close out the Yosemite vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, share. I hope you enjoyed the tips that we gave. And I mean, this is coming from people that don't really hike a lot.
Yeah.
So if you're someone that's trying to dip your toes into hiking, I hope that this vlog is beneficial to you.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we're gonna close it out. We're gonna begin our next day, and we'll see you on the next vlog.
Come along.
See ya.